Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Know the Truth, aka the Black Cinderella. Hope everyone is out there having a pretty good day. As far as we're all alive, we are in this second day of February, and we're hoping that we can get through February with a clear head, clear conscience, and good spirits, healthy vibes, and just thanking God that we are alive, just being individuals per it. Okay, so one thing that I kind of want to touch on is for a lot of people who assume or think that they are a target individual. Um, from my experience and from what I went through, um, I remember an instance where I was moving. We were moving, and around this time, the targeting, or at that time, I didn't know I was being targeted. A lot of crazy things were happening, so I felt that all kind of curling irons, joysticks, headphones, anything that can be tampered with, screwed on. I felt that it was it had to go. And so during this time that we were, packing up, I packed up a whole bunch of stuff, a lot of stuff that I really enjoyed, but I knew that somehow they were tampered with. I mean, you can tell because sometimes your appliances come back with scratches or, something has been, pried open. You can pretty much tell that, these things are going on, but you can't pinpoint exactly why it's going on. So, in a sense, you're like kind of trying to figure out what's going on. And I remember just throwing everything in boxes and just trying to get rid of it because I was like, I don't want nothing. I don't care how much I paid for it. I don't care where I got it from. I mean, valuables. It was just, thrown away. So I put them all in boxes and I put me and my kids in my truck and, packing all this stuff up to take it up to Goodwill. And as I'm, packing up, I look up and I see, a helicopter, and they're just in the sky, and I'm just overwhelmed at this point because I don't know what's going on, and I'm fresh into being a targeted individual. Fresh, don't even know that I am a targeted individual. So I'm, put all the stuff in the car, and we're driving, and while we're driving, literally we're driving, and you can see this helicopter just following us, like literally following us. If we stopped, it stopped. We kept going, and I just was driving like, I asked my kids, do you see that? Do you see that? You guys see it? They're like, yeah, Mom, we see it, and if they, not knowing either what the hell is going on because I hadn't had a clue. And all the way to the Goodwill, I hopped out the truck and I'm getting these boxes out and I'm putting them there. And, the guy's like, do you want a receipt? I'm like, no, I don't want anything. Keep them, do whatever. And at that moment, I felt like, okay, I feel a little bit better because I think I'm tossing away whatever the hell is going on in my mind at this point. But this particular helicopter was on me. We even stopped at, I said, let me stop at 7-Eleven and get something to drink so I can see if this is really what's going on. And sure enough, stopped the 7-Eleven, looked up, there's the thing up there just in the sky, right? Like the Jetsons, you know what I mean? And so it was very confusing to me. I just didn't know what to do. We drove home and I, didn't really speak about anything. I just, went back inside and continued on with my night, paranoid as all outdoors because I was something is definitely going on and I just don't have a clue. And ever since the first incidents of seeing all the drones in the sky or the helicopters in the sky, experiencing what goes on, you find out that this is what goes on. This is one of their tactics that can really, really get you to not go out. And I tell you what, I didn't, and I didn't wish to go anywhere. And I kept, I lived part of that first couple years in a sheltered environment for myself. I did go out when I had to the store, take the kids to school, come back home, but didn't engage in any type of really extracurricular activities early on in being targeted. Because of my just paranoia that they had me in. And I was very stressed about it because I wasn't sure what was going on. But I tell you, when I got into the car and looked up and seen this thing up there, I'm like, this is weird. And so even to this day, I look up in the sky and I see them and I know that they're there, still trying to wonder, why are they flying above me like that, you know? And it's very, very calculated, because there's times where, I don't even go outside at night, rarely, and there was times where I never went outside, but as soon as I would step foot outside, look up, here comes one just flying, just, randomly at the same exact time that I'm coming out of the home or the apartment or wherever I'm at. And I felt like this is awkwardly weird, very strange that this is happening. And I don't deal with it as much. I don't concentrate on it as much now, because I sort of understand what's going on. And so when I do go out at night, I try to not pay attention to it, because I don't want to feed into that, because that's what it is. It takes practice to really get back out there into society once you've realized that you are a targeted individual. It takes a lot of patience and a lot of timing to try to understand your every step, your avenues of whatever may be going on. You know what I mean? And it can be time consuming, because you have to think about yourself, you have to think about your children, your spouse, you think about certain family members in your, in your life, in your present life, that may have something to do with it, or you don't know who has anything to do with it, and you don't want to know because you're afraid of what the outcome may be, right? So I mean, we traveled all across from California to where we are, and I swear there was some times where I didn't see him at all, and they would show up in a whole nother state. So it wasn't anything that I felt was an illusion to me, because this was really happening. And, I went through so many phones and, SD cards. I mean, tons of pictures that I took before I knew that I was a targeted individual, that, you know, would probably have great significance now. There's a lot of phones that were tampered with, taken, replaced, SD cards erased, pictures uploaded, unloaded, deleted. Just everything out the ordinary is what happened to you. And so when I come outside and I enjoy the fresh air, or enjoy what this day may bring, I don't force myself now, but I enjoy doing it now. I enjoy being able to go outside and go to the store and just not deal with the weirdness that may happen around me. A lot of times targeted individuals now focus on having their phone with them and all kind of stuff, because you want to now take pictures of everything that may be going on around you. And I still do that myself, but what I try to do is, when I'm out, or if I'm at the park, or I'm with the kids somewhere, I'm at the grocery store, I just tend to just leave my phone in my pocket, and not to worry about who's around me, because that's when you get that anxiety figured out, who's around you. You already know they're up in the air somewhere over the rainbow. You already know that. So you just have to focus on what it is that you need to do for that day. We think, oh my God, I don't know what we're going to do next week and next day. But you know what? You can't sweat over it, because tomorrow something may happen worse, something may not happen. But I remember always feeling insecure when I looked up in the sky at night. And I remember always wondering what was going on at night. What were they doing? What was this? And I remember a lot of nights I used to sit outside and stare in the sky. And sometimes I would see like strands. You know how like the circus, they have these people that, walk through the air, and there's, ropes, tight rope people. And, I promise you, many times I saw this happening, and people were just coming down, and it could be whatever they slipped in my drink that night, or whatever I was eating. I don't know, they sprinkled it with fairy dust, or they put it over the weed, or whatever the case may be, they mixed it in the soup. Doesn't matter. Just certain things that I saw was very awkward and peculiar, and I tried to videotape as much as I could in the beginning, and in the middle, and even towards the end. And then now I try to just tape things that could be a coincidence or could not be, but 9 out of 10 times it's not. So I would just sit and wonder why this is happening. And like I said, I still wonder why this is happening, and I wonder why it's happening to a lot of people. But I also wonder why it's such a situation that has to keep us trapped into thinking that we are targeted individuals. You know what I mean? Because if you look at a lot of things that happen in our lives as being targeted individuals, sometimes a story may come across that is a person says they're not a targeted individual, but they've been harassed or stalked in a different way. So light harassment, airplane harassment, car harassment, those are harassments that happen to a lot of targeted people. I don't know if a targeted individual is the same as a targeted individual that's targeted regularly, So being followed by particular color cars, being followed by a mob of people, yeah, that is a targeted individual, but it happens to regular people as well, you know? So a lot of times when I look up in the sky and I see these things above me, and I don't know whether to engage in happiness and trying to figure out what they're doing up there. Is this the part where the radiation is beaming down on me? I have to do like this. What do I have to do? What do people have to do in order to stop this harassment? Because I went through, plenty of measures to do different type of things, and I don't feel that it's ever going to stop. But at this point in my life, I feel like I have caused it to lessen because I don't occupy my time with it. So I try to come on here and just say that, every day is a different day. Okay. For some of us, it may be the worst days of our lives, and I went through plenty of those. I mean, plenty of worst days of my lives. But I say to myself that when we accept what is going on and how it may affect other people by being strong, by being witty, by being honest, by being loving, by caring, by understanding, then we can lessen our pain as a targeted individual. We can continue to get out there and to face the world each day as it may come. You always have to remember, and I have to remember myself, that everyone out there is a gang stalker. Okay, that's my personal opinion. Everyone out there is a gang stalker, and until they prove to me otherwise, and there's certain ways that people can prove to show you that they are a human being, and this is to be loving and caring and nice. And there's not too many of those out there. There are a lot of loving and caring people, but not genuinely. And so that's what you look at too, because a lot of people walk around with anger and frustration on their face every day. Stop looking at me, bitch. And just upset at the world. And I can be upset. You can be upset. We all can be upset as being targeted individuals. But if we're upset, that's what's winning. That's what's making this whole circle go around, is us being upset, us losing our power as a human being. So as many drones that fly above you, as many helicopters that circle around you, and you're just looking up in the air trying to figure out, are you this big star, and how can you make this star shine brighter so everyone can see? You know what I mean? And that's what we have to do today. So today, the key word for today is to, I would say, laugh. Okay? Engage in laughter. Be happy. Ha ha ha. Someone says something to you, you ha ha ha. Thank you so much. You laugh, because if you don't laugh, then you'll find yourself being upset and mad at, anything that happens. The person in front of you accidentally drop their red slushy on the floor right in front of your shoes with your white shoelaces, and now your white shoelaces are now red, and the person in front of you is just not really giving a fuck that the slushy landed on your shoelaces. And then you just say, hey, it's okay, I wanted to wear red shoelaces today anyway. What can you do about it? They want you to get mad and say, you motherfucker, you're going to lick this motherfucking slushy up off my motherfucking shoelace until they turn white again. Then you have to remember that that's what they want you to do. So, word for today is laugh. Ha 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 ha. Everybody have a good day. Make sure you eat healthy. Make sure you thank the Lord for your food, waking you up this morning and just giving you a brighter day. Smile and laugh and enjoy your time on earth.